because no one will count those bodies
that have
been killed.
Is that going to be part of? I only read about 5% of that.
Okay.
So I was
because
skipping.
no, but it's something that sometimes I get concerned because we only talk about the American victims, and of course, they are victims. Victims are all victims. But I mean, there's numberless bodies that will never be counted that are also victims.
Yeah, thank you. That's very important, and that's crucial because the campaign that we're part of, the Bring Our Billions Home campaign, we really want to make sure that we're saying when we say home, yes, we're talking about the United States, but our goal is a global home where our idea of true security is not going to be won by bombing other countries and getting people angry at us. And our idea of true security is going to be a whole world that doesn't have complete inequality through capitalism and everything. And so we want the civilians in Afghanistan to be recognized because eventually what we want to replace the Defense Department with is another idea of defense that's more effective. And we want to, instead of sending troops with air jets that'll drop bombs, we want to drop packages of food, or we want to have people that are ready to go into dangerous areas, but to really make sure that they're being actual peacekeepers and actually creating peace instead of perpetuating war. So that's what we want. So is everyone ready to sing? Oh, yes. You can sing in whatever way you like. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies and amber waves of grain, we're all creating tragedies for corporations' gain. America, for true security. Please fund our roads and neighborhoods. Don't send bombs overseas. Yay! And we will repeat it. So, if you want to sit down or stand, you can. But please feedback, because we could sing that as you're standing up. We could stand up, and from the steps go through the rotunda, and if the people in the Capitol building in the rotunda, if the police tell us to leave, then we would leave. But at least we would have a moment of going through with our singing, and people would be like, WTF. So, questions?
Before they tell us that we need to leave, can we at least ask them, are you going to arrest us? And then if they say no, or they don't give us a yes, then we just keep going? Because that's what we found in occupying our capital here, is that there's a huge gap between them being like, you guys need to go, and then being like, we're going to actually do something somehow, shit.
Yeah, that's a good. So, asking the police, are you going to arrest us, before we actually just say,
okay.
They
don't actually say yes, because they won't say, they won't, they're tricky with the words. Don't leave until they actually say, we are about to arrest you if you do not go.
And this is the Capitol Police we're talking about.
And
it's a state patrol, and they're actually, from my experience, are not really wanting to arrest anybody. They're going to maybe ask you to leave. I actually remember one case of a woman sitting up in a spot where they didn't want people sitting, and she refused to leave, and they just said, well, when you get down, we're going to escort you out. They didn't go up and take her. Well, she was
dangerous.
Huh? It would have been dangerous, but it was still, their approach was, well, at some point she's going to have to go use the restroom.
Right.
So we'll figure out at that point.
Yeah.
I wonder if we could let them know what our intent is as well, because they have had people come in and occupy, and if we could say we're coming in and we'll just be finishing our song, and it would help them also know for their job that, you know, as soon as we're done, we'll be leaving again.
Right, I've sang in there a number of times.
But I have to say that the purpose of this is really to to make a statement, but we will have just a little bit of time in the Capitol, and that's all I want, because there are hundreds of organizations lobbying and doing work there that I actually don't want to disrupt. I would want to disrupt it if it was on a regular day, and I just think we should pick our battles. And I have been working with the other organizations who said, please, like, don't disrupt it. So we do want to disrupt things, but just for a brief time. And so we'll be singing the song maybe twice or 3 times. And the real way that we'll get the message out is through the media.
Are we hoping to have way many more people than we have here now?
Yeah,
Really
there will be an Occupy contingent going to the rally and going to and marching, and then we'll march to the steps, and that's part of the plan. So it will be more than that.
So this will be inside the building, right?
No, we'll be on the steps for the dying part. Because have you been in the rotunda and have you tried to shout? I mean, it's awful acoustics. So sorry, people might have to get a little down and dirty.
Will we be on the Capitol steps or on the Supreme Court steps?
Temple of Justice South steps. Yeah. Not the
and then walk
steps.
across.
And then walk across.
Actually, I think this is a wonderful technique for let's say, Chicago, G8, and I'm sure there will be 100,000 people there. To have 100,000 dead bodies at a certain point, it's so visually impressive. I mean, if in all the big marches, especially the marches against the war, even if it is, 5 seconds, but you just have all this pile of dead bodies, I think it's wonderful. I mean, well, you know what I mean.
Not a real dead body.
No, of course. But